How are you? Good to see
Uh,
you.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a good couple of days so far. I'm surprised with all the amazing stories that we've shared. This is the first event where I've interviewed so many people. Usually like one or two
Mhm.
people like you, and then another couple other people, one other person maybe, like Milena. But we have heard so many amazing stories, uh, and it's just amazing how FMF and AID has just connected all these people,
Uh,
including yourself. So I'm very excited to have you back,
well,
as
thank you.
always, because you give us updates on Myles, and then maybe you can talk about, maybe I don't know if Melina wants you to talk about it, or not, but
Yeah, we'll hold off on
we'll hold off on that till Lane is always like, I want to wait till things are done before I talk about them. I'm like,
yeah,
okay. But
maybe by September. So
yeah, yeah, hopefully, yeah, that'd be awesome, fantastic. How is Miles doing? First of all, let's ask.
he's doing pretty well. Am I echoing to you, or is
No,
that
no,
just
you're fine.
okay? Good. Um, and I got to see your interview with Gabby.
Yep.
She was really neat.
Yeah.
Especially her being a healthcare worker. That was really
Yes.
interesting to watch her. Things have been pretty busy, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch the videos of the other people. But that was, I love that there's more people getting involved. That's so good.
Yes. That's
But
the big part. It's because we have to, as you know, advocate for ourselves for the people in our lives that
absolutely,
are rare.
yes,
Besides, I may be someone who's rare, but I feel like I need to be there for other people who are rare more because I've dealt with this for so long and understand it a
uh,
lot more. And I have the ability to give back now because I don't have to work and all that. So it's definitely great that this community is starting to grow. You're right. It's fantastic.
and once there's more people, I feel like it'll get out there more, and maybe the next generation won't have to deal with what we have.
That's
With all the
exactly right. Yes.
years of trying to get help. So. But Miles is doing good. He gets his Alaris every 4 weeks, and so that has been a life changer. He has started. Well, we go up on the dose a little bit, and
Oh.
then where he's finally starting to grow a little bit, I think he's gonna have to go
Good.
in because he's having more symptoms ever occasionally. It's nothing like it was years ago when he was, a baby and little, but uh, he is having a few breakthrough symptoms. So, but he's doing like 1,000% better than he was back then. So we're thankful for that.
It's good.
But,
And how's he doing with the injections and everything?
he does great. He
Good.
occasionally he'll run and hide when he sees his nurse. But then he comes out. He doesn't cry. He doesn't
Oh.
yell. He sits there and he says, "I've got big muscles and it doesn't hurt." And so
Oh.
he's pretty tough. But it's kind of neat. He got a new nurse. The nurse is like 6 foot something. He
Oh
would remind me.
wow.
He to kind of explain him. He was at a church event. He said in October, and the kids there was a Halloween thing, and one of the kids said, "Are you Thanos?" And I mean, he's a big strong guy, so that
Oh.
was kind of neat. Miles really likes him. He's got
Good.
some great nurses. So
That's good. That and I think that's important as for kids is the bedside manner of the nurses that help take
absolutely.
care of them because I remember especially back when I was when we were kids, especially for someone who's rare, and just and I was scared of needles. I mean, back when I was a little kid, what little kid isn't? And I don't remember a good bedside manner from the nurses and everything. I
Mm,
remember being like
mm.
held down and stuff like that to get the injections or the blood test. But so it's great to hear that the system, however broken it is evolving a little bit. Is evolving to
Yeah.
that
Well,
because.
I mean, we've dealt with some horrible things with the doctors and nurses,
Hmm.
and so I think the fact that the nurse that's their only, like for us, it's their only job is they come to our house and they do
Yes.
the injection, and it's like one on one, because he went through some bad things at the hospitals and the. I mean, how it
Yeah.
is. So we're very thankful for that he's gotten used to that, and it's helping him so much. But
So,
also, I don't know the last time we talked if Cash, my 12-year
yeah.
old, had been.
Oh, he hadn't yet, I don't think, because it was it
Yeah,
after September, I'm guessing.
I I guess it was he's not diagnosed with FNF, but he has just general
So
autoinflammatory.
you said basically, is it USAID? Is that what it
They
is?
haven't said that. They just on
Oh,
his paper is autoinflammatory. Just
oh.
all it says right now. So
So I'm guessing they haven't done the genetic test yet or anything like that. They
they
just
have,
have done a clinical diagnosis. Okay.
yeah,
Well, yeah, you know what you're doing at least. And that's kind of the good thing, I suppose.
yeah.
Um,
And I probably never would have known what it was if it hadn't have been for Miles,
of
because
course.
Cash was not as severe. So when we saw some of those symptoms and took him and got diagnosed, and he's on colchicine, and it's helping him so much.
Good.
So that kind of tells me that, yeah, that's what it was. So, but I
Well,
would have never known. I hadn't been through such a bad case with
yeah,
Miles.
and I mean, I know when you first started, figuring out with Miles those years ago, uh, there weren't as many resources. So it's got to be great now, especially now dealing with two autoinflammatory kids,
Mm.
having the groups and everything to be able to go like vent and stuff when you're frustrated, or now that you're experienced with it, you can be one to go in and help others, when they have questions and such. So
Well,
it's
Melina is so helpful. She's more helpful than any of the doctors have ever been. She knows so much about it, and she's always there. If something happens and I have a question, I mean, she knows, and
yeah.
she's dealt with it with other patients, so that's been so helpful.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, it's great now that so many more people are coming out to volunteer and help and be a part of it because they're seeing her hard work. She
Mhm.
hates being highlighted. It's funny because yesterday she's
Yeah.
like, "Don't say my name. Don't talk about me. It's about the organization." Milena, you are the organization. Stop it. You are. Like, if it wasn't for her, none of this would be possible. We wouldn't
Well,
know.
and
We wouldn't have
people
FMF
say
and AID
what
if it
he
wasn't for
does,
her. And so,
right?
she has to be highlighted. Sorry, Milena, if you're watching. Um,
But she's helped so many people
yeah,
that people don't know about that, and I think if they did, they would realize. I think that's important because
it is. There aren't many
she's
like
so
her in the
many.
world at all. Um,
Mhm.
and she has FMF. She's rare too, and
Yeah.
that's the great thing about FMF and AID. So many organizations aren't patient run. They're, you know, not even family members of patient run necessarily. And
Mhm.
so the fact that this is a patient run organization for patients by patients, I like to show this is one of the shirts we designed. No auto-inflammatory patient left behind.
I
That's
love
has
that.
been the motto that we've kind of come up with because so many rare patients and auto-inflammatory patients are left behind.
Hmm.
So yeah, you're right. What the organization does, what Milena does, what she's done for all of us is incredible. And I'm so glad that one, the groups have been there for us, for you. Being a parent, it's different when you have the disease than being a parent. I'm sure. I don't know what it's like being a parent of someone with a disease. I just know what it's like having the disease, and all I know is that I've never wanted kids because I would never want a child to go through what I went through. And so I can't imagine how hard it is for you to see your child go through all that. And so having that organization to lean on and to help you and to be there to when you have a question or you don't know what to do, you're just overwhelmed is just
Hmm.
great.
Well, you never want to see your child sick or hurting. Like him, we knew that he was going to be sick after, a few days, few couple of weeks, he was going to be sick, and it was always hanging up. It was always there. And like, um, me, if I ever get a stomach ache or something like that, when I'm hurting, like I think he's gone through that so many times and for so long, and that breaks my heart. Um, so I can never feel what he's actually going through or what Cash is going through or any of y'all, but occasionally I'll get kind of pain and I'll be like, oh my gosh, they deal with this all the time, or at
Hmm.
least frequently, you know.
Yeah,
But going,
go ahead.
I'm
No,
sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
The fact that the organization is patient led, like, and all the money, everything donated goes to patients, and I think that's so important for people to know. Cash has always been one to want to donate to organizations and things. Like, there's a big hospital organization that everybody knows they advertise, and he's always wanted to donate. And the thing with big places like that, a lot of times the money doesn't go
Yep.
to the patients, to the families. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Like
Yep.
with FMF and AID, I know it's going to help people. I know it's going to go to them, and I think that's something that I've told people while we've been raising money. It's going to actually help somebody. It's going to change their life in a lot of cases.
Talking about the money and how it goes directly to the organization.
Yeah,
Um,
it actually helps the patients and their families to get treatment and the medication and the testing. And we got
travel. I mean, Milena's told me about patients that they've had to help pay to get them to Italy, and
mhm,
from their country, from different countries, because they can't get treatment
get
in their
treatment.
country. So I mean, and travel's expensive. You got to
Yeah,
pay for visas and plane tickets and hotels, and that's a lot of money. Then so we need help, and we learned yesterday about the Alexei, and they're in Budapest, in Hungary. They're from Ukraine, and
mhm.
they told me they can't get medicine like that because they're technically not citizens, so they're
Oh
not
wow.
entitled to the medicine directly from like from where they could get it there. So we need to figure out a way to get money so we can get them medicine. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's so heartbreaking
I mean,
that
it changes your whole life. Like
yeah,
if your child is sick, or if you're the one sick and you can't do anything with this disease, like you, if you can get the medicine, if we can get medicine to these people, their whole lives are gonna, and that's the thing that I think is important to get across and to get help. There's people out there with millions of dollars. Then there's kids who need treatment that might cost $15 a month, or and some of it's a lot more expensive. I know that, but
yeah,
um, we I love that more people are getting involved and helping getting that
yeah.
message.
This I really hope that we can. We live in a digital age, so I really hope that people are inspired to get online and do events like this. I mean, now that we like Gabby yesterday, who's the healthcare worker, she now when she got started getting really sick, her husband was like, "Why don't you stream, play video games and stream?" And she
Mhm.
started doing that. So now that she knows that, and she is you said, diagnosed, you said. So
Mhm.
um, she has a day in September, and now that she knows she has a day in September, she's like, I claim this day. I'm going to stream on that day, and so now I
Yeah.
have more people who like another person who wants to now stream and raise money and do the kind of event that I think the future is needs. And you look at
That's right.
organizations like Nord, what are they doing? I mean, I haven't heard. I signed up for a newsletter and stuff. I haven't gotten any emails about Rare Disease Day from Nord at all.
Wow.
And that's the U.S. organization for rare diseases on Rare Disease Day.
Crazy.
Like, come on. And so yes, organizations like FMF and AID need to be highlighted more, need to be put in the forefront. Uh,
Well, and the fact that they don't put money into the things like some of the bigger organizations do, like advertising and letters out. Like some of them get letters from every month asking for money. Well, that costs a lot of money. So if you take the money we raise and put it towards that, that takes away from pay. So it's like it's a hard thing to balance. So it's kind of like the patients are the only ones trying to get the message out, and families um, so. But the other thing is just getting the message out there. This is it is rare, and a lot of the doctors don't know about it. Or they might have heard of it, but they don't know how to treat it, don't recognize it. That was what we ran into over and over. And in America, we're actually more blessed than like
Yeah,
the
that's the
people you were
scary
talking
thing. That's the scary
to.
thing is that
So
in
it was hard for us, but them it's like almost impossible to get help.
yeah, yeah, you think about you're right, how lucky we are, how good we have it compared to other countries and other health systems. I mean, we complain how broken our system is. There's so many other systems out there that are way worse than ours, and like you said, patients can't find the care, and so then we need organizations like FMF and AID, you know, to to be able to help, get medicine, travel, care, and when we have folks like you who are like, I'm gonna chip in and help and do my part, that makes things a lot easier on folks like Milena, who is now in the chat. Hi, Milena.
I,
Yeah, I think that the future is very bright for the organization. Uh, I'm very sorry that Cash now has to deal with all this. But from what I've seen from your Facebook posts and stuff, your kids are like really close. It seems like, and
oh, they are.
so Myles and Cash sharing this bond will just make them closer. I feel like, and
Mhm.
that's good to have that. I wish I had that, a sibling who had the same kind of condition I did. You know how much easier. I mean, my family doesn't know how to like talk to me about this stuff because they can't understand it.
Yeah, yeah, they're really close. And right now, Cash is at academic. That's where I'm going right after this. So they're all really active, and the medicine Cash is on that helps him to be able to continue to do that and to have a normal life. So I'm just thankful that he can. Even though I hate that he has it. He's doing well with it. He's moving on, and the same with Miles. Like it, looking at him today, 2 or 3 years ago, like it's a totally different child.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was in between episodes. He was been happy, but you got those few days, and then you knew it was coming. So I just kind of feel like it's my responsibility to, as a mother, and they have not. So I can get the word. Like if I can help spread the word where more people don't have to deal with what we did
Mm-hmm.
because it was horrible, and I know it's worse for other people. I think that's what we all need to be doing. To all of us that can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, Melina in the chat saying it's not about me because Mark's in the chat. Her son Mark's in the chat as well. It says, "Hi, mom." She goes, "Hi, it's not about me. It's about FMF and AID. Always advocating for a patient community." Yes, Melina, I hate to tell you this. I know you hate to hear this, but you are FMF and AID global. We all are. So we're gonna highlight you though. Damn it, because if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be here doing this. We wouldn't probably have the motivation to. I'm not going to lie. You motivate us because of how hard you work on this. So, yeah, thank you. It is about you a little bit, damn it.
Yeah, I wonder if she realizes how many lives she's changed. I just hope she knows because I know what she's done for us, and we're just one family. I know that she's done even more for other people. So we just really appreciate you.
Yeah, we really do. Yeah. How
Feeling,
how
Chris?
are hmm?
How have you been feeling?
I've it's been up and down actually. I had a flare recently. I forget why. I think just overtired, and overdoing it. But Alaris has really been working for me. It's really frustrating that because I was on the Novartis patient program, and then they changed their guidelines, and so now I'm not. I now have to pay for my Alaris, which to as I tell people, it doesn't sound like it's not a lot of money, in the grand scheme of things compared to what this little vial actually costs out of pocket, which is an absurd thousands of dollars, six figures. No, five figures a month, six figures a year. Um, it,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's if yeah. But what's crazy is all it is a little piece of insurance paper that says no, you're only paying this much compared to what it is. When really the manufacturer could say no, it's only this much, and these are the kinds of things that we deal with. I mean, I feel like I've had to jump through hoops the past 2 years for medication, and the thing I keep telling everybody I talk to on the phone, because it's not like you can just go to a pharmacy and pick up your medicine for this kind of medicine. You have to get it shipped to you. You have to jump through hoops. And I say, why do I feel like I'm ordering cable television when I'm trying to just get medicine to help me live a normal life?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the most frustrating part of it all. And if it weren't for Melena's talking me down off a ledge, kind of, and having FMF and AID Global support me and help me with that medication, I was at my wit's end, and I said, you know what? Why should I even take medication for this illness? And this was recently, and I've dealt with a lot the past couple of years. I've had a suicide attempt. I've had different dark places that I've been. I've wanted to give up, but I've been in a better place since then in the past year. But I was at my wit's end because just the past couple of years with medicine was just. You wanted to pull your hair out. Again, like I said, it's they treat us like we're just a customer. No, we're a patient. It's a big difference. And I always tell you, you can't understand. Oh, I understand what you're going through. No, you don't. Do you have an rare autoinflammatory condition? Oh, I have an autoimmune. No, not the same. The world knows about autoimmune. Everybody mistakes autoinflammatory for autoimmune. So yeah, it's definitely that's the most frustrating thing. The large. I mean, yesterday talking to Alexi's mother and being told that they were told they're basically not in a hard enough situation, so the companies won't provide medication for them. Their country's at war and they're displaced from home. Alexi's had has two strokes and is basically reverted to a 5-year-old child now as a 35-year-old man, and they're not in a hard enough situation. Go to hell. Go to hell is what I say. That makes me angry. And so the whole world is dealing with this medication thing. And
I've got mine too. How much? I don't know if you can see, but a handful that he uses less than half a dose.
Oh, so you use one dose for every 2 months?
No, they don't.
You throw that away?
It goes in the trash.
Oh my gosh!
And I think about if.
Are you kidding me? They can't let you say you can put it back in they have to find a way to make it so you can put it back in the fridge and reuse that. Are you kidding?
Yep.
Guys, I'm gonna say the number. $19,000 for this little vial a month. And she just said that she has
And
to
it,
throw. She's being told she has to throw
society's
half of
right.
it away every month. I know it's not
Which
possible, man. I'm saying they have to come up with a way to design the drug so that it is possible and it doesn't deteriorate over those next 30 days. It's because
or
otherwise
even
it's such a
make
waste.
smaller doses
Yeah,
and
there you go. Put
charge
it
just
smaller dose in a bottle and send it. Absolutely. It doesn't make any sense. So it's all about the money. It really is. And it's all about the insurance companies and it's a shame because so many people
yeah.
all over the world need medicine and the drug companies and the insurance companies control it all. And when you tell a 35-year-old man displaced and has had 2 strokes and has an autoinflammatory condition that no, we're not going to give you medicine for free. You're not having a hard enough time. Who is
Yeah,
that? Who's having a hard enough time that you're going to give them medicine? Nobody, obviously.
that's what breaks my heart because it's about money and it shouldn't be. These are people's lives,
Yeah.
So there's so much that still needs to be done, and I think advocating. I mean, I would love if we had people who go to Congress and talk about this
Yes.
and get things make things better. Um, so that's something to look at maybe in the future, but that's always one of my concerns. When it gets to where they change the laws or he loses his insurance and he can't get his medication. It's something, there's always something to think about. And I trust that God will take care of us. But I also I don't think it should be like that. You have to worry that your child is going to have a horrible life with the price of medicine.
Yeah. You say you know that God's gonna. Sometimes I wonder if there is a God because of all the pain that all the people go through. And I know you have to look at it in a certain way that he can't control it all. But I always question that, and
He's gotten us a lot.
yeah. Yeah, it's having faith. I understand. It's having faith that things are going to be better and things are going to work out. But sometimes it's just so hard. I mean, you say that you're worried about medicine getting just taken away because of a law or something. That not because of a law, but that happened to me. I was on Kinneret for 8 years. Now I'm doing better on Ilaris, it seems, but they out of the blue, the insurance company 1 month didn't warn me at all. I called up to order my monthly injections. Oh no, you're not. You can't get that anymore. It's not a treatment for FMF. So I spent a month and a half trying to figure out what I was going to do, and finally got on Alaris, and it's been good. But again, and then a year later, get kicked off the program I was on and have to jump through more hoops to try and get the same medicine that I was on for a year now. So it's just hoop after hoop after hoop after hoop for a person whose trigger is stress.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like you said, someone needs to go to Congress and speak and lobby, and sure, that is something down the road, and I've always thought about wanting to do something like that. It's just a matter of, getting it done, and I think we're on the way. I think you're right. I think you are right, because we're building this little organization and growing it and making people more aware of these diseases that kids to adults suffer from. Doesn't matter what age you are, what color you are. You can be white, brown, black, Asian, Hispanic. So many different people have these autoinflammatory conditions because, as I was saying, the diaspora of man throughout the years and the centuries of people spreading around and migrating, and you have a blonde-haired, blue-eyed person in Scandinavia who has FMF, and the doctor goes, "You can't have FMF. You're too white." No, that's not how it works, folks. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I heard about. I live in Kentucky, and they say that there was a group from, I can't remember what country, but it was like pirates. It went back to pirates. And so there's actually quite a bit of autoinflammatory in Kentucky, but the doctors still are not really educated about it. Like in my small community, it's a very small town. And once I started coming out about my and putting them out and everything, I would get messages from people saying there's several people in my town that have
Oh.
or autoinflammatory
Oh, wow.
disease, or the last couple of years, people have come to me and said, "Oh, my child is having these fevers. Want me to tell them what it was like," and they've been asking the doctors for help, and it's just really hard to get them to listen sometimes.
Mm.
So it's so important for us to get that out there and for people to understand the symptoms and how to get help and those.
Are you in the part of Kentucky that's been getting really bad weather and stuff? So, or
We had floods, but it didn't flood like severe, like nobody lost their
oh,
houses
okay,
in
okay.
my town. But it was like really extremely rainy, and then we got a big storm,
Yep.
and so we were out for a week. And since that water was already there, and it got down to like 5 degrees, so it froze. So it was very
Oh,
cold. But
yeah.
today, it's beautiful, and I think it's about 50 degrees. So
Yep.
it's so crazy. It went from uh,
Yeah, it
you
feels like
know,
spring is
5 degrees.
actually here, it seems. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Everyone's telling me, no, we're going to
Yesterday
get another
was
cold
beautiful.
spell. I'm like, yeah, for like 2 days maybe. But I feel like spring is here. I'm going to say it. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm
I
going to
hope
say it. Spring is here. But how has school been going
now
for the,
you
for
live
the, I live in Illinois.
we're Illinois. Okay.
Northwest Illinois. So I'm like half an hour from the Wisconsin border. So
Oh,
yeah, it doesn't get as cold here as you'd think. But my significant other, she always complains about how cold it is here because we came from Florida. We were in Florida
oh wow.
originally, and I'm from Maryland though originally. So the weather to me is nothing. But for
You're used
her,
to it.
she's like, I didn't know it'd be so cold here. And we were looking at places like South. I'm like, she's like, I never would have moved somewhere that gets into the negative. I'm like, you know how many places get into the negative in the United States? Basically, you would have to go to Florida, the steep South, and like the Southwest, and that's it. Even Texas has days where it gets into the negative. So it's cold everywhere. It's season. She wanted
What kills
seasons.
me is on my weather app, like we love Santa Monica, and I'll be looking at the weather app, and it'll be like 20, 30 degrees here, and then it'll be 60 or 70 there. And I'm thinking that's where we need to be right
Well,
now.
San Diego is apparently the ideal place because it's a 75
Mm,
year round, apparently. Yeah. Could you imagine? For health
amazing.
reasons alone, for like FMF,
Yeah.
75 there's a nice 75-degree weather, nice breeze by the water. The only thing you have to worry about is the state falling into the ocean eventually, I mean, but I don't think that'll happen in our lifetimes. So, but yeah, the only problem with California is how expensive it is. We want to talk about expensive medicine. Imagine living in California and having to pay for your medicine. Like
Yep.
it's yeah,
You have done a great job.
yeah, that's the thing. They have to try and pay you for the cost of living, and they don't. You know, I mean, they talk about cost of living and everything, but then and how it's so bad, but then they don't lower the cost of medicines. It's
Mm,
crazy to me that there's so many ways that you could help people all over the world. These companies control medicine like it's a monopoly,
yeah.
and then they control governments, because they make deals, and then it becomes what we deal with, jumping through hoops and feeling overwhelmed on days because you feel like you're running into a brick wall with this stuff. And
Mhm.
having folks like you out there writing books like Searching for Your Zebra and doing that planning book and just getting awareness out there, which is again why we do these events, why we support FMF and AID, because they support us by raising awareness, doing research, putting papers out there. The amount of research papers that they work on to get out there to make sure that doctors have the right information, patients have the right information, that the support groups so that patients can talk to each other. and vent to each other. That parents, when they're feeling overwhelmed, can go on that group and say, I mean, we talked to someone yesterday, Sarah. She found her best friend in the groups.
Oh,
So
great.
and you know and met someone who she's friends with online. Now they're best friends, and they're gonna go meet up this summer, and it's just those kinds of stories
Uh-huh.
that make FMF and AID stand out.
Yes, absolutely.
So
It's really they've really helped us, and I love that there's something out there because that's the thing when we were going through it before we met Melena or talked to her, and I was just on my own. Me and my husband, we would talk to each other, constantly and complain and vent and just think, what do we do, and we were
mm-hmm.
just kind of lost,
Yeah,
and it was like nobody could help. And so, if anybody's out there that's going through this, I would encourage you to call the helpline or
yep,
get online and on the website. It can really change your life. So I'm just very thankful for Melina and the organization, and I love that there's people like you out there and others that are helping spread the word.
thank you.
I think it's so important.
Yeah, no autoinflammatory patient left behind. No rare patient left behind. If you have a rare condition and you don't know what it is, call the helpline. Melena, talk to her. Talk to the person on the other end, whether it's Melena or someone else who's on the helpline about your symptoms, and they'll be able to help you kind of navigate it and figure it out. And it might not be autoinflammatory. It might be, but you don't. And if you don't know, there's no harm in calling that helpline, getting on the groups, and asking questions and looking for support.
Melina and Ellen are so educated.
Yeah.
They know about
Oh my
so
gosh.
much
Yeah.
stuff. Like I can talk to people and tell them our story and the symptoms and things, but they know like so many technical things, and they know more than any doctor I've been around
Absolutely.
or have been in contact with. So yeah, we definitely encourage people to reach out.
Yeah. And hi, Gabby. Gabby is in the chat now. So Gabby's here.
Hi, Gabby.
Gabby, this is Monica. Monica, this is Gabby.
I watched your interview yesterday, Gabby. I really enjoyed it. So I'm really glad she's helping out.
Yeah, we need all the help we can get, folks. We're raising money for FMF and AID Global Association. We raised $700 so far. Streamathon continues through tomorrow night unless something crazy happens and we make a lot of money and blow past our goal like 5 times, and I'll be like, you know what, we're going to keep going all week. It's happened before. It could happen again, so I'm very hopeful. But either way, every little bit helps. Again, thank you for your donation or the other day in Myles' name.
You're welcome.
I love seeing it when you do it in their names because I know they love doing it. So I can imagine the joy that you all get pressing that button.
Max gets so excited, and we sold a few shirts, and we sold some cakes. So I put that in those people's names because they bought the cakes, and the donation was from them. But Max,
is that okay? Awesome.
Yeah, he wants to donate the money for the shirts because he said, "Mom, he got so excited when I donated money last time."
Aww.
So I'm gonna let him do that later.
Aw, thank you. Thank you.
But the people in our community have really helped out, and more rare disease shirts or straps or shared videos or just any way to get the word out there to people. It's so helpful, and I appreciate it so much. And I know you do as well. So
yeah, I one thing I hate about this time of year, these times of years, is how emotional I get on camera. Because whether it's hearing people's stories or getting a random donation that you don't expect, it's a very emotional time. And Melena, talking to Melena, we haven't brought it up probably in a couple of years, but I always wonder how she's able to not get so emotional when helping these people and hearing these stories. And she says it's hard. but you learn how to because you have to help them and get look past your emotion and help them. And I do understand that, but it doesn't help the fact that I'm an empathetic person and I'm a Cancer and we're emotional people to begin with. So, uh, but I'm so grateful to everything that over the years, all the money people have donated, all the help, you coming on, all my friends that have helped. It's just been such a great. I mean, this is the 5th year anniversary of me doing this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, September will be 5 years, and uh, yeah. Rachel says we quietly cry in a corner after helping. Rachel runs the UK organization. She's going to be on in a little bit, in about 45 minutes. To come on and talk. So I'm getting
Yeah,
emotional.
yesterday I was, of course, it was Rare Disease Day, and I was
Yeah.
at school. I teach kindergarten.
Yeah.
We were getting ready to go outside, and we were lined up, and my assistant came in carrying a cake, a zebra cake that one of
Oh.
my friends made for Rare Disease Day and for Miles and the kids. And I mean, I just lost it. I was like, that
Oh.
was sweet. Just the way people, actually care and, try to help. I just think if we would all be kind to each other and help each other instead of all the bad stuff that's going around, especially these days. I
Yeah.
mean, I love the way people care. It's just really nice.
Yeah. That's incredible. That's it's nice to know that your community has gathered has come to support you all, and again the fact that there's because of your stories that you've shared, other people are now figuring out what's wrong with them and in your community and being able to live better lives too. So paying it forward, getting messages out there, raising awareness, helping people that need help, it all matters and it
Hmm.
all comes full circle. You help people, people are going to help you when you need it.
Yep.
And no one should ever, no matter how stubborn or resilient, as Rachel called it, or hard headed you are, you should always ask for help if you need it. So, yes, like Monica highlighted, get on the groups, call the hotline, talk to someone if you're not sure what's going on with your health, or if you have a child that you don't know what's going on with their health. I know that can be even scarier sometimes when you're a parent and your child, your baby, your young child is going through it. Because when it's yourself, your mind, turns on your defenses and gets you through it. But when it's someone else and it's your family, it's hard. It's
It is
much
hard.
harder, probably. I can't imagine. Like I said, I don't know, but I only know what I've gone through as the person with it. And I know that I've pushed through it so many times, but I know so many people and so many parents now from doing this event who are like they can't do that, and so they do come and ask for help, which is like yourself, for example. And I mean, yesterday, like Gabby highlighting that she called the hotline and Melina spent an hour with her, a whole
Mhm.
hour. I mean, you call an
She really,
organization that's not patient run and you're talking to some random person who's like a nurse or something like that who doesn't necessarily understand. But when you have
mhm.
someone who does understand, who can empathize, who basically goes through the same things you're going through on the other end and talks to you for that long, that's special.
Yeah, it is. I
So,
just, well, okay. So when he was sick and he would have the fevers, I would go days of holding him for usually 3 to 5 days, and 105
oh
temperatures,
my God.
and you're so helpless. You don't know what your child. And 105, that's hot. That's
That's very
scary.
hot. Yeah.
And after we got him diagnosed and got the help, and got to get involved with Melina and the organization, I feel like it's my job to spread the word and to help anybody that needs it, because nobody should have to go through that.
Oh,
There's help out there. There's medications. we need to get that out there, And like you were saying about the medicine, it needs to be accessible to everybody.
Yeah,
There's no reason when treatment that they can't, that they shouldn't be able to get it.
I'm still flabbergasted by you having to throw away that much money's worth of medicine. It.
Yeah.
But the question is it really worth that much? Then, to like, is it really? Should it really be cost that much? If they're just willing to let you go throw it away.
Yeah.
Why
can't they do half a dose for $10,000?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Or make me pay for it, or my insurance, and then give the rest of it to somebody else.
Someone else, yeah.
You'd have to find somebody. But to me, it would be worth us both traveling somewhere to get. I don't know how it's a biologic. I don't know how it works or if it's possible, but
yeah,
like you said, it seems like they should be able to make it possible, do something.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's good for. It should be good for a whole day, right? Out of as long as you keep it refrigerated. Once you pop that cap and pop a hole. I think the problem is popping a hole in it with that syringe. So, with that fill syringe. Yeah. But we're not pharmacists and lab techs, so we don't know. But there has to be a way. The fact that
it's just frustrating. I don't know
but
it's frustrating.
Very frustrating. Very frustrating. I still. Or have it in pens like Kinneret. Yeah, have it pre-filled. Yep, there you go. Have it in 2 pre-filled, 1 for 1 month, and then you send 2 months worth. That's exactly right. There you go, Rachel. Good call. Yeah, there's so many things that could be done to just waste all that.
But then they wouldn't get $19,000 per patient.
Yeah, that's true. From the insurance companies, though. And so, cut out the insurance company, they'd probably only charge us like $50 for the drug a month, which I'd pay for if you cut out the insurance company. If insurance companies went away and prices went down, and you have to deal with claims and things like that, I'd be all for it. It would help folks like us immensely. Yeah. But money makes the world go round, unfortunately. And rare patients get left behind and forgotten about, but that's why there's Rare Disease Day. That's why we do this. So I'm very happy you came on and we got to talk again.
I enjoy talking with you.
Likewise. How, because Max isn't showing any kind of symptoms at all for anything, is he?
He's had stomach aches, like he's had abdominal pain. Okay. It's actually better now, so that may just be childhood. I don't. He's not got any. So I'm hoping that's all that is. Like I think I told you last time, we think my husband probably has FML.
Yeah.
Because he had the fever things and was sick a lot when he was a child, so not to blame him. But I think that's.
We always get blamed. The men always get blamed.
Yeah. He can take it. It'll be okay.
But yet, so when I was younger, my sister, whenever I would get flares, she would like freak out that like something was really wrong. How does Max like react when Myles?
When Myles was a baby and little, Myles would always say, or Max would say, I don't like it when Myles is sick, and he would just get really sad. It's Myles and then Cash.
Yeah.
And Cash didn't like it either, but Myles and Max have always been close.
Yeah.
And he's very empathetic, and he does not like it if Myles feels bad. He's still like if Myles starts feeling bad, Max gets upset. They both kind of like to take care of Myles. He's very spoiled.
Yeah. The youngest who's sick all the time usually is.
Yeah. So he's very well taken care of, but they are really close. And then of course I have my 2 older kids that they're one's out of college and going to nursing school. So
awesome.
I'm hoping we'll be able to,
Yeah.
educate people. Um, and she deals with some health problems
Oh
as
man.
well. I can't remember what Elders Danlos, I think, is one of the
Oh
she's. Oh, that's rare. Is that rare?
yeah, yeah. Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
So that's interesting that you say that because that's that. Hold on, I need to bring it up now. Where is it? I believe that yeah, at their Danlos. So we were gonna have someone on, and she can't make it because she's not feeling well. Who has Ether Danlos? She was gonna come on
Oh wow.
today and be interviewed. She was someone in our community, and actually one of the people I run this channel with. He plays Dungeons and Dragons with her, and so she was gonna come on, but she's been sick, and she said her kid also has Ether Danlos, and so she wants to make sure she's good and goes to the doctor and gets urgent care and gets medicine so she can take care of her kid. So
Yes.
small world that your daughter has it, and
Yeah.
we were gonna have so like wow, small world.
Well, even though these diseases are rare, I keep hearing about more and more people with them. So I'm wondering how rare they really like. I know they are rare, but I think I don't know if it's happening more or if they're learning more about it and diagnosing it
I think that's
more.
it. Yeah,
So, which is a great thing, that they're figuring it out because if you're diagnosed, you can get treated. So, anyway.
yeah. So well, that's amazing that your daughter's going to nursing school, and that
Mm.
she can maybe then help become an advocate for her siblings.
Yes.
And hey, then we'll get her involved with FMF and AID,
Yep.
So,
Sounds good.
yeah. So, don't want to take up too much more of your time, and it's the weekend, and the kids are probably like, "What's mom doing?"
Well, actually, I'm getting ready to leave and go to Cash's academic meet. So, and the
Oh,
two little ones
awesome!
are right now. So,
Awesome. What's his subject specialty?
he won the science test. So he's on
Wow.
the in the region science test, and he does quick recall and FPS. Future.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and Cash, he likes to play game. Well, Cash and Max, probably, but maybe Cash likes to get on. Is it Twitch?
Yep.
Or yeah, so maybe one day you all could play together.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Yeah. That would be. Yeah. We could do it for like September or something.
yeah, that'd be
And
neat.
yeah, we'll set it up. Absolutely. Fantastic. Well, good luck to Cash.
Thank you.
Um, hopefully he wins today.
I
Um,
hope so.
and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the beautiful weather that you're having.
Oh yeah.
And I hope both Miles and Cash stay healthy.
Thank
And
you. I hope the same for you. I hope you
thank you.
have a good, next few months, and
Thank you. Thank you.
we'll have a big September. It'll be
Yes.
what, fifth year.
Fifth year.
So
Fifth year anniversary September. So
we need to
I'm
really
making a
have a
big
big,
thing. Yep.
big thing for that.
So
So, well, thank you, Chris, and thanks for all you do. And I personally appreciate it, and I know lots of other patients and parents and families do.
well, thank you as well, Monica. And again, what you're doing, which we can't talk about, is amazing, and I'm looking forward to
I'm
what's
really
going to
excited.
come from it and what we've talked about. We're going to work on afterwards too.
Yes.
So,
I'm really looking forward to that.
all right.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Monica. Take care.
Enjoy your day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. That was an incredible conversation, folks. Incredible conversation.